if we wanted to really expand this cage down, you know, we could start, if I look at the C shape in this cage, okay, it's a C-shaped D, right? There's the D. Now, if we wanted to, all right, we could do a D-shaped 7. In other words, take this guy, all right, drop the 5th to the 4th, okay, drop the 3rd to the 2nd. We're just dropping down to the 2nd half diminished, and the 6 would drop to the 5. It would go out of the cage, all right. And what we want to do for coherency, we want to keep in the scale. So it's got to be 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 R2, right? So the root here would go to the 7 here. All right. Would this 5 go to the 4? Yeah, and that will go out of the cage. That would extend the cage down. That'd be about, the 4th would be about the extent that the cage would be expanded. In other words, if you wanted to do just a 7th, now we have that 4 up here, you see, so we want to keep it in the same cage. All right, if I kept marching down to the 6, so let's do the 6. The 6 is going to take us over here again. You know, it goes into the next cage, so we don't want to do that. We want to find a configuration where it's within the same cage without losing, you know, any steps, or, you know, where we're going up 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 R2. Okay, I mean, we just have to, you know, we have to be careful. So that would be the D shape. All right, you know, that would be the D shape, half diminished there. We get the G minor shape, E minor in the D shape. Remember, we start on the 3, we go to the 5 to the 7. The G shape, then we're up here a half from that in a major G shape, so it's a major 3rd to the root to the 5th. That's your G shape. That's your Mixolydian 5th. If we're doing the G shape, actually it's a G shape 4th. Sorry, it's the Lydian 4th. Okay, so it's the G shape, and we have the 4, the 6, and the root there. Okay, and its 4th is the Lydian 4th is augmented there. Go to the A shape G7. All right, we're going to A shape G7. 2, 5, 7 is your G shape. There's the 5. There's the offset root. You know, the modal root of that 2nd inversion G, and the 4th would be that dominant 7th. Okay, and then the C minor shaped A minor. Oh, who could forget the C minor shaped A minor? A minor being the 6th, the root, and the 3rd. Here's the 6, here's the root, here's the 3rd. C minor shape, as you know, in C, the key of C, okay, over here you got, with the key of C, it's a little further, like way further. Root, 3, 5, root, that's the C shape. Now we're doing a C minor shaped A minor, so it's 6 root 3, 6. Okay, so it's A, C, E, A. A, C, E, A. All right. Now remember, if it was C major, if it was an A major shape, it'd be A, C sharp here, and that would be completely C major shaped. All right. So those are the modes, and of course, you know, in the D shape, you would choose whatever, and we'll get to that. I have the whole thing charted out. All right, I had to take a little break there. So we want to wrap this up. All right, we're going to move on to the next chart because we have to. This chart was chart 57, modal scale tone chords, all 5 all 7 modes. And what I'm going to be concerned with teaching you is about this last row here. This should be fairly clear because we were able to show that. We want to know specifically where these half diminished tones are, and once we get those, we can extend that down to exactly not only, let's say, a D minor shaped D minor, which would be 4-6-2, but what are the other scale members of D minor in that 4-6-2? They're right. There's a 4, there's a 6, there's a 2, and how do we make chords out of them? Obviously, that would be on the bar. So when you're playing a D minor, okay, in my case it would be the capo. Yours it would be open. All right, so the D minor doesn't sound too bad. Okay, with the D minor here, then that would be the 5th. That's really not part of a D minor. Okay. Okay, you're not hitting the 5th. We're hitting the 6th there. That's the 2nd. So that's the tonic. That's good. Then the 6th, the 3rd, the 3rd isn't really part of it. So pretty much, as you know, when you're playing like a D up here, you're just anywhere to the top half, top 2/3 of the 6 strings. Right? Who wants to do that? You can't. It's almost impossible to get that F. All right, unless you had a capo that had like a little clip on the front part of it. Anyway, so we're going to be talking about eventually in the future using the rest of the scale tones of each mode to make different chords. All right, I got to wrap it up here because I have to get going. So I'm going to go to the next chart with this and just talk about the next chart a little bit. And what it came down to here was, where are the half diminished tones? Okay, and this certainly a lot the S3L pattern in the unwarped zone, and in the first 4 strings, if this is the first 4 strings of your guitar, the bottom 4 rather, you could just play this 7R2 and cover most of that. As long as you start on the 7th, you're playing a half diminished modal scale. Whatever scale tone you start on, if you start on this root and play from the root, you're playing a major scale. All right, and it just sounds different when you start from the 7. Alright, so that's just playing by sight because I have the notes labeled. And yes, it's quite an undertaking to label to get the note sheets going and attach them to my guitar, and we can talk about that later on this season when I may make them available to people. We just have to find out what the sizes of the frets are. Smaller is better as far as the labels, We could do that, but right now it's more important to look at the charts here and just know where things are. Because like I say, I like to play them, by the patterns. Okay, so this is a warped fretboard up here, And we'll be getting to this in the next lesson. We'll be getting to more of this stuff. We're going to stop here on chart